What's up guys, I'm back today with the Xbox One versus PlayStation 4 video. Now this is part 2, and today we're going to be talking about the user interface. Now for this part of the video, a lot of this is personal preference, so a lot of this is what you prefer. Therefore this is going to be a lot of my opinion in this video. So yeah, again, change the answers to how you feel as though they're necessary or how you feel as though they weigh up. And finally, just remember we've only seen a rare glimpse of the UI of both of the consoles, so a lot of this is subject to change as well. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this. Now I thought I'd kick it off by telling you what is returning from the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Now the Xbox One is going to see the return of the Xbox dashboard, and the PlayStation 4 is going to see the return of the XMB bar. Now in my opinion, the dashboard is so much better than the XMB bar. The XMB bar is boring as hell, and it's so dull. It just allows no move for any. It's just really bad. I don't like it at all. I mean, the only exception being that it looks slightly better when you add a theme to it or an image to it, whereas the Xbox, when you add a theme to it, you get all the green everywhere, so it's a bit of a pain. But in all honesty, I just believe that the XMB bar is just really dull and really boring when it comes to a user interface. So let's talk about some of the new features that are coming in. Now the Xbox One is seeing something pretty awesome coming called an interactive dashboard. Now you may remember a while ago when we first saw the Xbox One launch, they kept talking about TV, them using the Kinect to modify and kind of open up certain parts of the dashboard. So there was a TV channel below playing in the corner, and he grabbed it, he did like a grabbing sort of motion with the Kinect and expanded it. So what that means is that we can actually have a quick launch kind of thing straight from the dashboard. So there's no waiting times really, it just loads almost instantly. So it could mean a lot of background processing for the CPU, which is a bad thing, but it's a pretty nice feature to have if they can pull it off correctly. The PlayStation Store is actually seeing a revamp. Now you may remember that there was an upgrade recently to make it look a bit more interesting. It actually looks a bit more like the Xbox Live Marketplace, but now they're going even further and they want to make it a more interactive store. So, you know, you can see some of the video clips playing in the background as you're looking at the game you may or may not download. You can play as you download and things like that. So overall they're giving it sort of like a makeover, making it look a lot better, which I think is something that the XMB bar needs a bit more than the store, but it's nice to see happen. We're going to keep rolling through the features left to right, so we're going to go Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Now to resume this, the Kinect is seeing a new array of voice and hand commands. Now, as I mentioned previously, the grab feature on the dashboard, which is one of the new hand commands, is looking really awesome. Now, you may remember that the Xbox One had its sort of own hand and sort of voice commands. They were really crappy though, so hopefully Kinect 2 can provide us with something a bit more interesting. As I mentioned before, despite the fact that the XMB bar is returning, the PlayStation 4 is also seeing a new style of kind of home menu. Now, it's a similar version to the Xbox Live dashboard or the Xbox Home, and it looks pretty good so far from what I've established, but like I say, we've barely seen much of the UI, so I can't give you a penultimate idea of what it is, but it looks very similar to the Xbox dashboard. It also allows some kind of feeds to be involved as well. Now, you may remember that the PlayStation 4 does incorporate a lot of your social media feeds as well as like live stream feeds, so it's sort of going to be a sort of left to right scrolling system with an up and down scrolling system with the additive of the XMB bar from what I've established by now. The Xbox One and PlayStation 4 both have a sharing/live streaming feature. Now the Xbox One allows you to press a few buttons as well as use voice commands to get the sharing/live streaming going, whereas the PlayStation 4 actually has a dedicated button on the controller. Now what this means is that you can download video, you can share video, you can upload video, all these kinds of things just from the press of a button or a voice command, and it also means that you can live stream as well from these buttons. Now I'd like to confirm with you that the Xbox camera, so the Kinect 2.0, and the PlayStation camera, PlayStation Eye, can be used as face cams when you wish to record this gameplay or when you wish to live stream, so hopefully we can establish some professional looking streams and videos. Now as I previously mentioned, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 has a play as you download feature. Now what this means is that when you're downloading a new DLC or a new game, you can actually select what part of the game or DLC you wish to download first in order to play it as you're downloading it. Now ideally this won't give you the best content, so that you may find the odd stutter of graphics or the loading times to get a bit excessive, but it's a nice feature to have. And again, the PlayStation and Xbox both have cross-game chat, so both have a party chat. Now, originally this was on the Xbox 360, but not on the PlayStation 3, so great news for Sony fans that they can finally cross-game chat. Believe me, it is like literally one of the best features I adore about the 360. So yeah, again, that's coming back too. Both of the consoles don't have region locking either, so what this means is that if I buy an Xbox One or PlayStation 4 in the UK and move to the US, it should function as it did before. This also means that if I go on holiday and I pick up a game for really cheap, I should be able to come back to the UK and use it with no problems whatsoever. Now we can finally get talking about the Snap feature on the Xbox One. Now the Snap feature basically allows you to use more than one program at the same time. So what this could mean, for example, is you can play a game and use Skype, or at least that was what was showed off. And another example of this would be that you can watch a TV show and then find out information via the internet browser or via smart glass as well. So this Snap feature is really useful. I can see it being extremely useful on a lot of games. However, there's been rumors floating around that apparently you won't be able to use it on AAA titles because of processing, but we'll see how that works out. The PlayStation also has its own kind of Snap feature. It's called the Quick Swap button. Now, the Quick Swap button is basically the PS button, and it allows you to quickly swap between programs that you are using. Now, no multitasking has been confirmed yet, but it does mean that you can quickly go between a game and maybe a video, or a game and maybe the browser as well. This isn't as good as the Snap feature, but at least it's something. What this also means is that both of the consoles have something called a suspension mode, which is pretty awesome. So what this means is that I could be in a game and I can quickly swap to another program and then almost instantly resume going back to my game. So the loading times are just basically gone now. There's no loading times. So like I say, this suspension feature is on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Now on the Xbox One, it's basically dashboard, go to another program, or snap to another program and fully expand it. Whereas on the PlayStation, you press the quick swap button or the PS button and you can quickly go to programs. This is basically just Microsoft and Sony ironing out the annoying waiting times that we already have to live with on our current gen consoles, and most likely we're going to see this being very useful. Now we all know how the current achievement systems work on the Xbox and on the PlayStation, but the Xbox One is taking it a step further. They're introducing dynamic achievements. So what this means is that an achievement can be implemented into the game months after the game has been published using cloud technology, or maybe they can adapt an achievement to make it harder for you to get. Overall, this basically just means that we're going to have much more fun achieving certain goals. I know a lot of people do hunt for trophies and they do hunt for Gs, so this is going to be really useful to them. I don't do it myself, but personally, if I see that I've got an achievement and I'm being screwed over and it gets changed, I'm going to do my best to try and better it. And finally, the only other feature that we can talk about is Skype. Now, the Xbox One does feature Skype, and I think that's basically just going to be overall useful. I use Skype a lot of the time. So that's about it for this video, guys. This is part 2 of the Xbox One versus PlayStation 2, and this is user interface. Now in this category, I believe a lot of the stuff does break even, but overall I prefer the Xbox One's UI in comparison to the PlayStation's 4 from what I've seen so far. So like I say, this is subject to change and personal preference. So this could change really drastically in the future, or for example, you maybe disagree with a few of my points and you can change them how you feel as though they fit. So as usual, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with part 3 very soon, where we're going to be talking about the controller and the design of the console.